Ah, birth. The miracle of life. The horrors of womanhood. While it can be an overwhelming joy for some, it's been an absolute nightmare for others. Sometimes your baby can't wait. Whether you're on a flight, stuck in jail, or even ordering McDonald's, they sure have a way of surprising us. This is why a lot of mothers are opting for the comforts of home for their birthing journey. Hey, if you can work from home, why not give birth from home? Am I right, ladies? That's what I like to call multitasking to the max.
Wow.
Sure, you'll be getting extra mileage out of your kiddie pool, but is it as safe as going to the hospital? And if you want to talk safety, what would happen if you had 8 babies in one go? Would that mess up your body forever? You might have to say a heartfelt goodbye to your abs, at least for now. We'll cover it all in this extra special, extra cute, extra terrifying megasode. First, we'll look at a collection of the wildest birth stories that might make you want to put off that flight. Fasten your seatbelts. This ride's about to get bumpy. A California grocery store erupted in screams when a customer went into labor. 3 employees called 911. All were put on hold. The butcher threw on his apron and caught the newborn in the nick of time. The store owner saw the umbilical cord around the baby's neck, called for scissors, and cut the cord. Clean up in aisle 5. The paramedics arrived shortly after and took the mother and baby to the hospital. The healthy baby's name is Toby. There are 9,000 non-hospital births in America every year. What are the strangest? This is Your Body On, the 10 craziest places to give birth. Before laboring mother Erica and her husband called an Uber to the hospital, she made a simple prayer.
Please, make it fast and easy.
Well, her prayers were answered. They made it only 2.4 kilometers before Erica went into active labor.
He's coming out.
The driver pulled into the Whole Foods parking lot where the baby slid right out without a single push from Erica. Some of us are born for a life in the fast lane, I guess. Margarita's trip to the Magic Kingdom really lived up to its name. While her husband rode Space Mountain, she embarked on the ride of her life. She rushed to the medical tent and gave birth to a healthy baby girl. The little girl is one of only 3 babies born in the park. It's not for lack of trying. Many laboring mothers have actually tried delivering at Disney due to an urban legend that promises a free lifetime pass. But head for the hospital, ladies. There's no free pass. Nicknamed the Big Shrimp, Brian Mahor was born, you guessed it, on a shrimp boat. When Mom Cindy went into labor in the open waters, Captain Edward Kiesel rushed into action. Following a first aid manual, he saw that the baby was in breech position and coming up butt first. He reached into the birth canal to help free the baby's legs and get its head out safely. Then he boiled scissors and 3 pieces of twine to tie off the umbilical cord. Baby Big Shrimp was lucky to have the captain look after him. Roughly 95% of breech babies are delivered through C-section, as it is a risky position. Alice Payne slept through delivering her baby. Lucky. At 38 weeks pregnant, doctors injected the expectant mother with hormones to induce labor. Later, the machine monitoring her contractions didn't show the doctors how far her labor had progressed. They gave her medicine so she could sleep for a few hours. Incredibly, Alice went into labor while she was sound asleep. She described hearing her partner's voice telling her when to push as she slept. Payne only woke up for the last 10 minutes of delivery, then dozed off again. Many women consider it a private experience, but Nancy Salguero educates people about childbirth. So, she streamed her 3rd child's natural home birth live on YouTube. Knowing the baby was in breech position, Salguero's husband performed Webster's in utero technique. It's an adjustment of the pelvis that creates space for the baby to reposition itself into a head-first position. When the baby was positioned correctly, the newborn soon came out safe and sound.
Birth really can be such a wonderful experience, and it doesn't have to be associated with any kind of pain or discomfort. And that was my experience of my birth.
The creation of life is a beautiful thing. Marnie Kotak wanted to share that beauty with the world. The Brooklyn-based artist exhibited her son's birth as a piece of performance art. A live audience of 20, a doula and a midwife witnessed her natural birth. That was one messy masterpiece. Special delivery! Sonia Nascimento went into labor at her local post office. She wanted to buy time for her cell phone, but left with her newborn instead. The staff weighed the little one on the parcel scales. At 2.34 kilograms, it would have cost £8.22 to ship the baby by first-class mail. Janelle Wilson planned for a water birth, and she certainly got it. Janelle lived on Scotland's Isle of Mull, a short boat ride from the nearest hospital. When her labor started late at night, the ferry wasn't running. A lifeboat arrived to take the mom-to-be, her husband, and midwife to the hospital. Suddenly, her contractions picked up, her water broke, and the baby was crowning. In mere minutes, Janelle had a healthy baby boy. Janelle said it was actually easier than her first child's birth. Giving birth in a car is no big deal.
Baby's out.
So Amanda McBride turned it up a notch by getting behind the wheel. Her husband accompanied her but could not drive due to a medical condition. While en route to the hospital, Amanda felt her water break and the baby sliding out. She told her husband to take over the steering wheel while she cradled her newborn.
She's so pretty.
Wow. I have a hard enough time driving myself to the pharmacy when I have the sniffles. Give that mom a gold medal or something, holy cow. Before we continue to our next segment, I'd like to give a special shout out to all the moms who made it this far in the video. Don't worry, it gets better, or worse, depending on your perspective. They say it takes a special kind of parent to raise 8 children, especially if they're twins. And Nadia Suleiman, the Octomom, is a living proof of this. She had so many buns in the oven that it broke her ribs. You'll probably want to limber up before you watch this one.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have 8 babies at the same time? How would your body react?
My nipples are very sensitive.
Would you be more likely to give birth prematurely?
Better late than
Pregnant.
And would any of them be identical twins?
Now I can't tell them apart. Which one's Andy? You gotta be kidding me!
This is your body on having octuplets. In 2009, Nadia Suleiman, known as the Octomom, made global headlines for having octuplets through in vitro fertilization.
That's gotta hurt!
She was implanted with 12 embryos by a fertility specialist. Octomom gave birth to 6 boys and 2 girls, weighing between 800 grams and 1.5 kilos. All 8 babies came from the same sperm donor.
who's your daddy? Me!
46 doctors and nurses performed the C-section when Suleiman went into labor at 31 weeks into her pregnancy.
Oh, it feels like I'm s***ing a knife.
In this episode, we'll explore what would happen to your body if you're pregnant with octuplets.
I'm not too worried about it, really.
But first, do you know how many babies a womb can hold? 8, 9, 15? Well, stick around. We'll have the answer later in the video. Carrying 8 babies at the same time would require a lot of energy. You'd need to eat the most nutritious food possible
I've never seen you buy a salad. It feels I don't hate myself, Tanya.
and get as much rest as you could. There are no weight guidelines for octuplets because they're so rare, but it's usually recommended that a woman gain between 7 and 18 kilograms when pregnant with a single baby.
I think she's becoming morbidly obese.
Nadia Suleiman gained more than 58 kilograms.
Go put on some more clothes, you.
If you were carrying octuplets, you'd have a greater risk of developing preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure and high levels of protein in the urine during pregnancy. And that could damage your organs, including your liver and kidneys. Also, you'd be more prone to getting diabetes during the pregnancy due to your increased amount of hormones.
Crazy hormone swing. Why does everything smell like onions?
Your babies would have greater chances of not growing at the proper rate, called fetal growth restriction. It might cause your babies to be born prematurely.
My water broke.
But we'll get you another.
Or at low birth weights. It's very common. This problem happens nearly half of the time when there are multiple babies in a single pregnancy.
I ate my twin in the womb.
But the bigger your babies grow, the greater risk you'd face of having squished vital organs. Suleiman even suffered broken ribs during her pregnancy. To give birth to 8 kids in one pregnancy, you'd likely need to give birth prematurely.
You have no idea how much this hurt.
Which is an incision in your abdomen.
Why does it look like that? You're not a man!
And surprisingly, the birth doesn't need to happen all in one day.
Breathe.
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 Your babies could be born days or even a week apart. This is known as iatrogenic asynchronous birth. The longest known interval between births of babies in the same pregnancy was 5 days, 12 hours, and 34 minutes. And now it's your turn, and baby number 8 is born.
We have a girl, unless I cut the wrong cord.
Your babies could be all identical, but so far that's never been documented.
Wow, we're identical.
So you may have some identical twins or triplets, and other babies may be fraternal,
I'm the twin brother.
resulting from multiple eggs fertilized by different sperm.
I'm Nora.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, preterm births and low birth weights accounted for about 17% of infant deaths in 2018. Babies who survive may have breathing problems, developmental delay, vision problems, or hearing problems. Okay, right after giving birth, it would be important to monitor your body.
I still have a vagina.
You'd feel cramps called afterpains. They are caused by the contractions of your uterus as it returns to its pre-pregnancy size.
Sabotage by my baby box.
You'd still be recovering while taking care of your kids.
Either he's crying or I am.
Because of the C-section stitches, lifting anything too heavy would be painful during those first couple of weeks.
Take him, John. My hands are shaking.
No, thank you.
And if your tummy still looks pregnant months after you deliver,
I'm not pregnant, I'm just fat.
you'd likely suffer from diastasis recti, which is a separation of the left and right sides of your abdominal muscle. You'd need surgery to fix that. Your hormone levels would drop, and you may feel down and anxious. If your mood continues to worsen for a long period, you could be suffering from postpartum depression. You'd need to contact your doctor in that case.
You hormones, you are a crazy.
In July of 2021, a Malian mom set a new world record by delivering nonuplets. So, to answer your question, a womb can hold 9 fetuses at the same time.
Not necessary.
That's what we know so far, but there's no limit that we know of.
The limit does not exist.
All right, mamas, who's gonna break the record next? So far, no one has produced decuplets, 10 babies at once, but that hasn't stopped people from having lots of kiddos in other ways. Like the Russian millionaire mama, Kristina Ozturk, who's had 21 babies from surrogates. Her rich hubby got arrested for money laundering, but luckily, she's not alone in diaper duty with 16 live-in nannies helping her out. Now, unlike Kristina, some moms are opting for a bit more privacy when it comes to bringing their babies into the world. If you're not a fan of hospitals, maybe the free birthing movement is for you. Why not dry yourself a bath for this one? It's going to be a wild ride. This woman was on her way to a birthing center when her water broke prematurely. With no help in sight and no time to spare, she delivered a healthy 10-pound baby all by herself. Now, she may have been by herself, but she's not alone. Giving birth without medical assistance is a worst-case scenario for pregnant people.
I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind here.
But for a select few, why are more and more pregnant people choosing to give birth at home? How can you deliver your own baby? And why could it land you in jail? This is Your Body On, Giving Birth by Yourself. The trend toward non-hospital births has been rising steadily for years.
Get this baby out of me, please.
The number of home births in the U.S. increased by 22% from 2019 to 2020. Social media is awash in pictures and videos of laboring mothers in inflatable pools, surrounded by midwives and loved ones.
Oh, that was amazing.
But recently, a more radical approach to childbirth has taken the internet by storm. Free birth. Free birthing is the planned delivery of a baby without any midwives or medical assistance.
It's often assisted birth.
While most pregnant people deliver at home, some opt for more natural environments.
I've given birth outside in the wild.
Free birthing provides the mother with total control over the birth of her baby.
Oh, here it comes. Like, I don't feel like anybody else can serve me better than I can serve myself.
It's an attractive choice for those who have had negative experiences with doctors and hospitals.
My first birth was traumatizing in a lot of ways. I ended up having a cascade of interventions, and I felt very unempowered.
Parents who choose free birth are generally against medical intervention during birth.
I just want to be able to fully tune into my body's inner wisdom and just let it happen as it naturally should.
Free birthing can also make intimacy during childbirth more comfortable. Many laboring people have sex to stimulate contractions and relieve pain.
It was very important for me to give birth somewhere that I was comfortable having an orgasm.
Others simply want to avoid the high cost of a hospital birth, which will set you back about $4,500 in the U.S. But these savings come with some serious risks.
I literally thought I was dying.
Risks. Delivering outside of the supervision of medical care may be more comfortable, but that does not make it safer.
Call 911.
Home-birthed babies are 3 times more likely to experience neurological damage and seizures than those born in hospitals. Even scarier, these births suffer twice the infant mortality rate.
It's my fault.
About 10 to 40% of home births require transfer to a hospital due to complications.
I thought I was gonna die in my bathtub.
So it is essential to be aware of any risks associated with your pregnancy before making your birth plan.
Baby's breech.
Pregnant people should not have a free birth if they are carrying multiples, have previously had a C-section, or if the baby is in an improper position. These deliveries are more likely to pose complications requiring medical attention.
We're gonna do a C-section right away.
But emergencies can arise even when mom and baby are in perfect health.
I literally thought I was dying. I had no idea what was wrong.
Some babies get distressed at the end of labor and are born not breathing.
She's blue.
Kickstarting their lungs is quick and easy for a trained medical professional, but it is almost impossible for an unqualified and exhausted parent fresh out of delivery.
Nothing will prepare you for that moment.
So having a backup plan in the case of emergencies is crucial.
Oh, it's too late.
Planning. If you decide to move forward with a free birth, it is important to be well informed. Knowing the stages of labor,
I think my water's broken.
what they feel like,
I feel her head coming down now.
and what happens during each one
I'm gonna have her fast now.
can help you understand what to expect once childbirth begins. Make sure to monitor your blood pressure at regular intervals during the birth. If it begins to fall, seek medical help immediately. Sudden drops in your blood pressure starve your body of oxygen, which can cause severe organ damage and kill you. So make sure to plan your free birth near a hospital and have transportation at the ready. If your free birth delivery goes wrong, you might face legal trouble. Laws. It is not illegal to give birth unattended by healthcare professionals, but it will ring several alarm bells with authorities. Many doctors have reported women who refuse treatment to social services.
I got a phone call from social services saying that I was putting my unborn baby at risk.
And if your baby doesn't make it, you might face criminal charges. A number of women in the U.S. have been prosecuted, some of them for murder, after delivering stillborn babies at home.
It didn't seem to be that it was treated as a stillbirth. It seemed to be like it was being treated as murder.
These instances are rare but worth considering when deciding where you would like to give birth. If you get to decide. Emergencies. Not everyone has the luxury of choosing a free birth. People around the world do it every day out of necessity. Like Diana Sanchez. The 27-year-old woman gave birth alone in a Denver jail cell without any medical supervision or treatment.
That pain was just, it's indescribable.
Diana screamed for help through hours of contractions. She got none.
Nobody cared.
Whether you're in a jail cell or on the side of the road, if you have to deliver your baby alone, here's what to do. Find a flat and steady surface and try to get as comfortable as possible. Sitting or squatting will help gravity do some of the work. Focus on panting. It'll distract you from the pain and relax your muscles to prevent vaginal tearing. Eventually, your contractions will get closer together and can last 60 to 90 seconds.
It hurts.
You'll experience pressure in your lower back and rectum.
I feel like you should push.
Push! When you see the head, place your hands under it for support. If you can, wash your hands first. The baby will have a weak immune system and be susceptible to infections. Guide the little one into a blanket, towel, or whatever you've got nearby. That works. Keep pushing!
You gotta breathe, mommy.
Once both shoulders are visible, gently lift your baby toward your stomach, and the rest will come out.
He's here.
Hold that little love close.
She's so pretty.
Skin-to-skin contact releases oxytocin, which contracts the uterus and reduces bleeding risk.
I feel great.
Cozy up under a blanket if you can. Babies lose a lot of heat when wet, so it's essential to keep both of you warm. The placenta will come out on its own in the next 30 minutes. Don't pull it out. That can cause a uterine inversion. That's when the uterus is pulled inside out or sometimes even right out of the body. Cutting the umbilical cord is the most dangerous part of the delivery since it can lead to hemorrhaging. If you have to cut it yourself, wait until it stops pulsating. Tie the cord off tightly with a heavy string about 10 centimeters from the baby and then again 5 centimeters from the first string. Then cut between the two ties. You did it!
You were born on the 405.
While hospitals are often considered the safest places to give birth, you have the right to choose how and where your baby is born. Wow, that was heartwarming, exciting, and terrifying all at once. I don't know about you, but I think we could use a palate cleanser. A little relaxation. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now show me that hamster eating the carrot. Ah, yep, that's the stuff. We'll take a look at the science of ASMR on another episode of Your Body On.